What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about the best and the worst of Prince Edward Island, or as this video calls it, 5 things you will love and hate about Prince Edward Island. I've been recently starting to go through and learn more about the individual Canadian provinces from my American perspective. And today, I'm landed on Prince Edward Island, you could say. Honestly, the name of this province confuses me a little bit because it appears to be the only one named after something, Prince Edward. I don't know who Prince Edward is, but I think Google could probably sort that out for me. Prince Edward Island, one of the eastern maritime provinces. Yes, yes, indeed. What about its name? Oh, why is Prince Edward Island so popular? Why is it? Prince Edward Island is best loved for Green Gables golf and sandy beaches. Green Gables. What is a Green Gable? Anyway, I'm getting off track. Prince Edward Island name. The province's name was adopted in 1799 to honor Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, fourth son of King George III. Okay, so it's named after a 1799 Duke of Kent. There you go. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to understand totally what that means, but I am ready to learn about 5 things I'll love and hate in Prince Edward Island. So let's see.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and we're at Green Gables, made famous by Lucy Maud Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables.
Wait, this is Green Gables. This is literally what Google said people love about Prince Edward Island. I'm glad that was instantly explained. Okay, this is working out.
Lucy Maud Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables. This is the place where she based it all off of, the Green Gables thing. And we're here on Prince Edward Island, spending a nice 4-day weekend just enjoying Prince Edward Island. It's beautiful. And even a place as beautiful as Prince Edward Island with history and great beaches has things, of course, you're going to love, but there's also going to be things you're not going to love. So that's why we have the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Prince Edward Island.
I appreciate that as well. Usually these videos only have the absolute best parts of blank place, where this is a little different. This is good stuff and bad stuff. Kind of controversial. I kind of like it.
So as you know, I always like to get the bad news out of the way first. So the first thing you're not going to like about coming to Prince Edward Island is actually getting onto the island. You used to have to take ferries, and you still can, but most likely you're going to take the Confederation Bridge, which is about a 10-mile or like 16-kilometer long bridge.
Wow. I don't... 10-mile bridge? That's honestly an amazing feat of engineering. This would be one of the best parts. This would be fun. You're driving over water for 10 miles? That'd be kind of cool. I don't know why he's calling this a bad thing, although it is kind of interesting. You can't buy a airplane ticket there, right? I'm sure you couldn't you?
That you go over, and if you're scared of high bridges with low sides, it can be a little bit off-putting. I know for my wife, it was a little off-putting. For myself, I was like, okay, let's just focus on the road. And
oh, okay. No, I think I'd enjoy it.
Just know that it can be a little stressful, and there's stoplights sometimes on there if things
Oh, he's saying at the bottom here, the Confederation Bridge is rather expensive. Like there's tolls? How expensive are we talking? Okay.
Things happen, so really pay attention. But that's the thing you're not going to like when you first get on. Now, it's good because it can be a bit scary.
Okay.
Though if you drive near sunset or sun up, oh my God, it is so gorgeous on the bridge. But just know the first thing you're not going to like is coming across that bridge. It can get a little freaky. The second thing you're not going to like about coming to Prince Edward Island is if you come outside of summer. Guys, you need to come from May through September because it's beautiful in Prince Edward Island. The only thing is, winter lasts a very long time, and they don't measure their snow in inches. They measure it in feet of snow.
They measure it in feet. I like this little sculpture, by the way, little mouse. Does that have something to do with the culture of Prince Edward Island? The mighty mouse is their mascot, perhaps? Probably not. Probably just a cool wooden mouse carving. But, hey, I like to speculate a little. This is something I've learned more and more about traveling, apparently. You want to be really conscious of what time of year you do it in. That's for a lot of places around the world, because you might end up under 6 feet of snow if you're not careful.
Snow here, okay? It gets very cold. February here, the people are, getting stir crazy. They want to get out, and it can be a bit, a little frustrating for the locals and for tourists. That's why most of the stuff is closed in the winter here. So what you want to do is come in the summertime because the winters can be very much unbearable. The third
Okay. That's actually genuinely a good tip. Good thought.
thing you might not like about coming to Prince Edward Island is this is a very popular place to come. Green Gables is it's a national monument here, and Prince Edward Island is gorgeous. So there are a lot of tourists that do come here in the summer. So that can mean that you're going to need to get reservations for the better hotels and cottages, which are
Okay. Yeah, that's true no matter where you go, it feels like. If you're the guy or girl who schedules your trip really carefully, like a year in advance, you're gonna end up getting the cool cottage or the Airbnb or whatever, the cool hotel. And if you're not very particular and don't take special care in your arrangements, you're gonna get a little screwed. But I don't know. It's kind of like you just get whatever effort you put into it.
really nice, which I recommend. Because if you wait, you're not going to be able to get the best hotels, the best cottages, the restaurant, things like that. So make sure you plan ahead and make your reservations early. If you're looking for the best hotels, a few months early would be a best place to go. But
What is this Green Gables, by the way? Is he going to go over that? Is it this house? Why are there so many people in line to go in this house? It's like he's teasing me with saying the name and then doesn't explain what it is. It must be famous in Canada, because is it just everyone knows what it is, so it's not even worth explaining? The most annoying thing about this to me would be all the tourists having to wait and just like stand behind people and be like, oh, I just want to go in the Green Gables. I just want to know what this is. In some fantasy world where I traveled to Prince Edward Island all the way without knowing what Green Gables is, I'd really want to get in that house and be like, move people, I have to figure this out.
go to cottages because it's really kind of cool to have your own little cottage out on Prince Edward Island. It's just gorgeous, heading to the beaches and all kinds of stuff. But second thing you're not going to like is those summer hordes of tourists. It's not super bad, but just know that it's not going to be the calm Canada you're hoping for. Just some places like Cavendish Beach can be that way and things like that.
Okay.
Also with the summer, as for summer tourists, we like to go to the beach when we're here. I'll throw that in with the summer tourist stuff. Is some of the beaches do have kind of like a red clay kind of stuff in it. So if you're wearing white, expect to get ruined.
Oh, no, that's kind of cool though, actually. Wasn't this a question on the Canadian quiz I took a few weeks ago? Prince Edward Island having red sand? I think I got it wrong. If I had seen this video, I would have got it right. I thought that was just a fantasy, a myth.
And most of the beaches though don't have that problem, but just give you that heads up because my wife is still a little mad at me because I sat down and, well, let's just say I don't have a white shirt anymore for this trip. The fourth thing you might not like about coming here is one of the reasons why you do come here, Green Gables. Now, it's a very small thing. I mean, they have Lover's Lane and they have the haunted woods and stuff like that. And you've got the house here, but there's not a lot that's actually part of Green Gables. However, the entire island, and especially by here in Cavendish, has kind of sold its soul to everything Green Gables. It'll be White Gables Hotel or Green.
Okay, so it seems to be almost a resort or a whole thing, and there's raspberry soda, apparently.
Green Gables Hotel or Avonlea Village and all these things. It gets really overly touristy kind of stuff, so you don't get like the historic feel.
So it's a historical landmark? I'm just gonna have to Google it. I need details. Green Gables? Anne of Green Gables? That's a novel. Okay. No, that's not what I need. I need Green Gables. Prince Edward Island? Yep. Well, this is going to try to take me to the map. Anne of Green Gables. Is that the full name? Green Gables Heritage Place. This is the house. This is the picture of the house. Okay. It is a 19th century farm and literary landmark in Cavendish, Prince Edward Island. Served as the setting for the Anne of Green Gables novel. Huh. Okay. So it's a farm, landmark, a book, the place in a book. Not terribly meaningful to me as an American. I don't have any real attachment or knowledge of this story, but certainly I would visit it nonetheless.
Of Prince Edward Island, and Prince Edward Island has a lot of history. They're celebrating in 2014. They celebrated 150 years of the Confederation and stuff like that. I mean, the beginnings of Canada was actually here. Okay, the birthplace of Confederation. That's what's on their license plate here. And there's a lot of history of it, but unfortunately, a lot of it is kind of sold to the Green Gables stuff. They kind of go in that way, which can be a bit frustrating. It's not a bad thing. It's just something you should be looking out for. That it's not just the Green Gables and Anne of Green Gables stuff. It's also all the beauty of this island and the history as well. But it can get a little bit over the top. Okay.
Okay. That's good. That's good insight. That's good insight. A lot of historical stuff to see here, including the Green Gables, which is still a mystery to me, but more as well.
Okay. And I come from a place by Hannibal, Missouri, where Mark Twain's from, and everything is Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens, everything, and you're like, come on, there's other stuff here. Okay.
Okay.
And the fifth thing you might not like about coming to Prince Edward Island is driving on the island, because sometimes you're not really sure where you're supposed to go. Obviously, in the wintertime with all the snow and stuff, it can be a bit dangerous. But when you're coming here from New Brunswick, what I find kind of funny is, like, it's not the Prince Edward Island drivers that bother you. It's the New Brunswick drivers, because they'll get right up on your back. And then here, they'll have like 2 lanes, and then it'll go to 3 where you're supposed to move over to the side and let them pass.
Okay.
Those people will still stay behind you through that 3-lane part. And then right at the very end, whew, shoot around you. So it's like, come on.
He's really got a grudge against the New Brunswick drivers. Is that how you get to Prince Edward Island? Is that the bridge? Prince Edward Island. Now I do need a map. Need a map to see. I still don't have it in my mind, the positioning of all the provinces. Yep, here we go. You have New Brunswick here, and then east of it, Prince Edward Island. And there's the little bridge right there. Look at that. 10 miles long at least. Pretty amazing. Ah, it's pretty cool. Okay. Very good.
Man, so the New Brunswick drivers that come to PEI, and the tourist drivers, they'll kind of get to you. Also, what you should be careful of is when you're riding around here, a lot of people will be biking. So make sure you're paying attention to the bikers and all the pedestrians and tourists around when you are here, because that can be something you don't like. And let's be honest, those 5 hates about Prince Edward Island, they're nothing, okay?
Yeah.
Granted, except for the winter thing, that kind of sucks, and a bridge.
Yeah. The bad things are not that bad. Unless you hate bridges. The winter thing is good advice.
But let's be honest, this is a fantastic place here. It is beautiful. I wanted to come here. My son wanted to come here. My wife, my kid. I mean, it's...
Look at this tip. Read the Anne of Green Gables series before you come. Probably smart, because I feel like a lot of this would be lost on me if I didn't.
It's beautiful.
Is that like mandatory reading material in Canada or something?
And there's a lot of history and, of course, Green Gables. And so what are the 5 things you're going to love about it here? The first thing you're going to love is the nature side of things. Going to all the beaches around here. Yes, you can go to Cavendish Beach, which is right by here. Or if you want to be a little more adventuresome, you go out to East End. There's a lighthouse on the very end. You can see where the land's falling into the sea.
Oh, I'm a sucker for a good lighthouse. Isn't there like a very famous lighthouse? Am I making that up? It all kind of meshes together. Anyway, yes, beaches.
And there they have Basin Head Beach, which was voted the best beach in North America. And the thing that's cool is here, the beaches, the water's a little bit warmer than if
Did he just say one of the beaches was voted the best in North America? Really? Well, then you gotta go there. You gotta.
you go farther south, in the Maine and stuff like that. So you do get a better beach time here, and there's all kinds of fun stuff to do at the beach. But just going around to the beaches, driving around, taking in the fields and all this kind of stuff, and the views and the sunset and this natural beauty, that's the first thing you're gonna love. The beaches and the natural beauty of PEI, fantastic.
Yeah.
The second thing that I like about coming here,
PEI. Is that the short? That's the short acronym for Prince Edward Island. Is that what all the cool people use? All the Canadians, if you really know your stuff up. I went to PEI the other day. Sounds like a support group or something. Anyway, no, it's an island. Okay.
And actually, what's nice is my wallet likes too is Prince Edward Island is actually cheaper than if you're going to the more traditional kind of tourist places in Canada, because most Americans, we go to Toronto or Montreal or
Yeah.
Vancouver. Those are rather expensive places to go. PEI is actually a relatively affordable place. Now, Canada's a little bit more pricey than US, in my opinion, but it's still a good deal here in PEI. And
Absolutely 100% agree with this. And I know because I know everyone that I know in America, Americans, it's safe to say that Americans, most of them do not know of Prince Edward Island. They don't know what it is. They don't know a lot of the provinces in Canada. So they're not going to have the knowledge of, hey, I should visit it. They're going to visit the obvious places, exactly like he's saying. So I could see where traveling here would be much less congested. And you might get a little more bang for your buck. This is a good tip.
And you really should come because it's not bad on your wallet. And especially if you're thinking of doing a cross-Canada thing, it's well worth visiting if you're ending here, because it's like everything's cheap compared to Toronto or Montreal. So that's kind of a cool thing. The
Yeah.
third thing you're going to like about coming here is the history. And yes, part of that history is a fictional history like Green Gables, which is really cool to come check out. But also,
Hold on. What is he talking about? Fictional? This is a fiction? This isn't a real thing? I thought, it's based on the book? Is the book a fictional book? And this is a recreation of it? I'm so confused now. Why did he have to say that? He said this was a fiction?
history is a fictional history like Green Gables.
All right, I might as well go visit New Zealand and go to Hobbiton, where the Lord of the Rings took place, right after visiting Green Gables, because apparently they're both based on fantasy. You know what? It's okay. Still wouldn't stop me. If I'm on Prince Edward Island, you better believe I'm going to this house.
Which is really cool to come check out. But also, like I said, this is where Canada was basically began to be founded. You go to the Province House
Right.
in Charlottetown, okay? You drive around and you can see the history and all the beauty of this place. And yes, I do say it's a little overdone with the Green Gables thing. But if you read the books or even just watch the miniseries with your kids, you'll understand that this is really a cool kind of thing. And it goes to that kind of, well, nowadays it would be historical fiction, but then it was just fiction. But it really gives you a feel of how things were there and that history that's here. And they have lots of interpreters. If you go to Charlottetown, they've got interpreters walking around that will give you tours. You can
Cool.
go here, they have interpreters, all kinds of cool stuff. Avonlea Village, yes, it is a tour.
Yeah, I never realized that Prince Edward Island was such a hub of the early history of Canada as a whole. It's important in its founding. I didn't appreciate any of that.
Touristy place, but they do have period things. And if your kids watch the movie or read the books, they reenact all that stuff. And it's really kind of a
Ooh.
cool thing about being here. The
Okay.
fourth thing you're going to love about coming here is eating. Yes, you will eat lobster when you're here. When it's out of season, it's not as fresh, but if you come in season, it's fantastic. And even out of season, still more fantastic than...
Look, he's about to bite that mouse again, the wooden mouse. Is that some kind of Canadian tradition? Or is he just being a kid? Either way, fun.
anything. The seafood here is phenomenal. Getting into the restaurants, go to some of the small villages around the island and eat at those places because the food
Poutine. Poutine. Americans are not huge on seafood. But when in Prince Edward Island, you gotta try some of it. So, okay.
food is fantastic. It's a little bit cheaper than like in Charlottetown and stuff, but I'll be honest, eating here is great. Also, drinking here is pretty good, and not just the local beers, but also a local drink. You've got to have your raspberry cordial. If you ever read Anne of Green Gables, you know what I'm talking about. They
This fictional drink, like butterbeer, Harry Potter fictional drink. Since this shattered my whole world, and I found out in the same video that this isn't based on real life. Anyway, that doesn't make it any less significant. I'm being a little antagonistic for no reason. So, all right, I'll try the soda. What's it called again? What is it flavored again?
drink, you've got to have
Raspberry cordial. I don't know what that even means. What's a cordial? Okay.
here. It is actually really good. My kids love it. I love it. So you'll do very well eating here. So love number 4 is the eating and the drinking, specifically the seafood and drinking the raspberry cordial and the stuff that's a little bit stronger. And the 5th thing you're going to love about coming to Prince Edward Island are the people. I mean, in general, Canadians are fantastic. They've been wonderful throughout our whole trip throughout Canada.
Yeah.
PEI has been no exception to that. These people here are fantastic. Yesterday, we ended up talking to, a bartender for like half an hour just about life and liberty and all kinds of fun stuff here in Canada, about the snow going up to here in PEI. And everyone's so nice. Our hotel, the people that...
That's cool. That's cool. I haven't done a ton of traveling myself, unfortunately, but it would be very comforting to know that the place you're going to is filled with really great people.
The general manager where we stayed, Craig, he was fantastic. Gave us...
I could really see a lot of places getting annoyed at tourists and having not much patience for them. So that's also a really nice thing. It sounds like Canadians are quite welcoming. Very nice.
Lots of tips, locals on the street. Hey, we can hold your baby while you do stuff. I'm like, okay. I mean, the people here really are super nice, even with all these tourists coming in. Now, I'll be honest, I really enjoyed coming to Prince Edward Island, and it is a fun place to go. If you want to learn more, we got a video, 10 facts about Prince Edward Island, 10 facts about Charlottetown, I should say. Also, what to see and do here on PEI. All on our website at waltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook Island in Canada. Bye.
Okay, that's it. This was by Walter's World. I really enjoy him. I guess I gotta give this a like. What do people have to say about this? Oh, just for future reference, there are 3 ways to get on the island. Ferry, bridge, and you can actually fly there. I was thinking, come on. You gotta be able to. We're in the future, right? I know it's a super crazy concept that such a small island would have an airport, but we do, and we support international flights. Fantastic. Wonderful. A lot of people who visited there. The only thing I hated about PEI was leaving. It's a truly magical place with wonderful people. Don't miss the Chip Shack and Queen of Fries in Charlottetown. Good advice. Okay. This was good. I enjoyed this a lot. Prince Edward Island is just not a place Americans know about. It's not for whatever reason, Prince Edward Island is not a province Americans ever hear or ever taught. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure some are aware of the existence of this magical place. And I'm sure in the 15-minute lesson we had in 4th grade on Canadian provinces, they mentioned the name and then never again. Unfortunate, because this seems like a really cool place, a hidden gem, if you will. That's funny to say that and think. It's not such a hidden gem. It's not a hidden gem to Canada and other people who know about it, just to me. So that's kind of funny. Think about that. Anyway, a lot of interesting stuff here. The stuff that was bad wasn't even that bad. The stuff that was good was really good. Historical, beautiful place. This Green Gables stuff that I didn't know about. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, if you found this interesting and maybe even entertaining, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada, places in Canada, Canadian culture, stuff that I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.